In a vast and ancient universe, intelligent life should be everywhere. Our galaxy alone is a sprawling metropolis of 400 billion stars, many with planets orbiting in the gentle warmth of their habitable zones. The mathematics of probability insists, it screams, that the cosmos should be a noisy, vibrant chorus of civilizations. Instead, we are met with an eerie, profound, and unnerving silence. This gaping contradiction between expectation and reality is the Fermi paradox, and its most terrifying possible solution has a name: the Great Filter. This theory proposes that somewhere along the line from the first spark of life to a galaxy-spanning civilization, there is a barrier, a wall, a test that is so monumentally difficult to overcome that virtually no one has ever made it through. The most important question humanity will ever face is a simple one. Is that wall in our distant past something we have already conquered? Or is it lurking in our near future, an executioner waiting patiently for our arrival? The answer is the difference between us being the first and us being the next to die. Consider the timeline. For life to reach our level of complexity, it must pass through a series of improbable, critical steps. The first filter could be the origin of life itself. Perhaps the leap from inanimate chemistry in a primordial soup to a self-replicating molecule is an astronomical fluke, an accident so rare it has happened only once in this galaxy. If so, we have passed the hardest test. We are the universe's winning lottery ticket. Life is the miracle, and we are its sole inheritors. This is a lonely but hopeful thought. Another potential filter we may have passed is the jump from simple prokaryotic cells to complex eukaryotic cells, the foundation for all multicellular life. This transition took over 1 billion years on Earth, a long and precarious journey. Perhaps this is the true bottleneck. The universe might be teeming with microbial slime on countless worlds, but the jump to complex animals and plants is the barrier that silences the cosmos. Again, if this is the great filter, we can breathe a sigh of relief. We are special. We are rare survivors. The silence we hear is the sound of a universe filled with simple life that never made the next leap. But discomfort shatters when we consider the alternative. What if the filter is not behind us? What if the easy part is over and the true test is yet to come? Every civilization, upon reaching a certain technological threshold, might inevitably discover the instrument of its own self-destruction. The invention of nuclear weapons was perhaps our first brush with such a filter, a technology capable of sterilizing our entire planet, born from the very same intelligence that allowed us to contemplate the stars. We survived that test so far. But what comes next? We are searching for our place in the cosmos, and the answer could be a triumphant one or a terrifying one. It is a search for our own destiny reflected in the silence of the stars. To face this profound question with us, to continue the most important search in human history, subscribe to CosmoQuest 888 and click the bell. You will be part of a crew that dares to look into the abyss and ask the questions that matter. The future holds a gallery of potential apocalypses, each one a candidate for the Great Filter. Imagine the creation of an uncontrolled, superintelligent AI, a consciousness that expands at an exponential rate, rapidly surpassing its creators and seeing us not as parents, but as obstacles, or as irrelevant bacteria on a piece of rock it wishes to repurpose. Another filter could be a perfectly engineered pandemic, a synthetic virus designed in a lab that escapes and brings our global civilization to its knees. Or perhaps the filter is slower, more insidious. The inevitable exhaustion of a planet's resources, the collapse of its biosphere under the weight of an industrial civilization, a slow, painful slide into oblivion as our world becomes toxic to us. The terrifying part is that the filter does not have to be the same for everyone. There could be 100 different ways for a civilization to die. It only needs to fail one of these tests, just once. The most chilling evidence from future filter would be a discovery. Not the discovery of microbes on Mars, but the discovery of ruins. Imagine our first interstellar probes reaching a nearby exoplanet, a world that we have determined to be perfect for life. It is in the habitable zone, it has water, it has an oxygen-rich atmosphere. But as the probe descends, it does not see forests and oceans. It sees the silent, crumbling ruins of cities. It sees the ashes of a forgotten empire. An astronaut's glove resting in the red dust of a dead world would be the most horrifying discovery imaginable. It would be the ultimate warning. It would be incontrovertible proof that other civilizations have reached our level of technology and they are now gone. It would mean the Great Filter is almost certainly ahead of us, and the silence in the sky is a graveyard, full of those who have tried and failed. What if we are the first? This is another possible solution. Perhaps the long series of flukes required for intelligent life is so improbable that we are simply the first species in this galaxy to reach this stage. If this is true, then there is no Great Filter, or rather, we are its sole conquerors so far. But this brings with it a different, heavier feeling. It means the silence is not a warning, but a responsibility. We would be the lonely gods of an empty galaxy, the first spark of consciousness in a dark and sleeping universe. The weight of that would be immense. It would be our duty to survive, to spread life and consciousness to the stars, to break a silence that has lasted for billions of years. It is a beautiful but terrible burden to be the only ones. The Great Filter is not just a theory, it's a mirror. It forces us to look at our own civilization, at our own potential for self-destruction. The paradox is that the very same intelligence that allows us to search for others is the same intelligence that allows us to build weapons of mass destruction. Our curiosity and our aggression are two sides of the same coin. Perhaps this is the filter. Perhaps intelligence itself is the fatal flaw. Perhaps any species that becomes smart enough to question the universe also becomes smart enough to destroy itself. It could be the ultimate cosmic irony. The price of consciousness is oblivion. We stand at a unique and terrifying crossroads. We are powerful enough to hear the silence, and powerful enough to become another one of its silent statistics. Every day, we make choices as a species that move us closer to one fate or the other. Our exploration of space, our development of new technologies, our stewardship of our own planet, these are all part of our test. The Great Filter is not an abstract, astronomical concept. It is a question about us, about our wisdom, our foresight, and our ability to overcome our own worst instincts. The silence of the universe is not an answer. It is a question, and it is asking us directly, will you be different? Will you be the one that makes it through? Or will you become just another voice, lost in the great silent dark?